Okay, this morning we're going to go over some of the basics about using Blackboard for your virtual courses at Virtual Schools of Excellence. So you St. Andrews students who are enrolled in virtual classes, hopefully you've received your logins by now with your passwords. If not, you need to talk to either myself or Mr. Jason Walker, our IT specialist, so that we can get you set up with those logins. If you have your login and you just don't know where to start, that's what I'm going to walk you through today, is how to start your course and how to know how it works and where you need to find essential resources for your course. So we're going to start out here on the login page. This is just fueled.blackboard.com. Now I handed out a sheet yesterday with your logins and passwords and the URL or the web address you needed to visit for Blackboard, and it was this really long link. But really, the mistake I made, you just need to go to fueled.blackboard.com, just as it appears now on my screen. So I've already got my login information entered in, so I'm just going to click login. And when I log in, it's going to take me to kind of a page, a home page where it lists all the courses that I'm enrolled in. Okay. Now here on my screen it says, here on the right, classes where you are instructor. On your perspective, it's going to say something along the lines of courses where you are student. Okay, but it's going to look very much the same way. Now you might see some announcements over here on the left side of the screen. Those are from your teacher. But if you want to access the course content, just remember it's over here on the right. But don't totally ignore those announcements on the left, because sometimes your teachers want to pass on important information to you, and they will do this here sometimes rather than emailing you. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm going to show you what a virtual course looks like. They're all very similar to each other. They might have different components to them, but I'm going to show you an honors biology course, for example. For you, it might be economics, it might be geometry, algebra 2, but when you click on the course, it's going to bring you to the course home page. It looks like this. Okay, so it looks like a very plain page. Sometimes your teacher will decorate it with pictures and announcements and things like that. But where you really need to start is here at the left-hand side of the screen. Okay, this is your course menu. Up here, these first three links, they're just general information. Announcements, staff information will usually tell you how you connect with your teacher. And then Class Connect is another communication tool where you can join a room belonging to your teacher and you can communicate that way. It's kind of like a chat room forum type thing. But if you just want to email your teacher or get in touch with them, hopefully they've entered their contact information into the staff information option there. Going down, this middle section right here is where the actual course materials are. Okay, and we'll discuss those in a minute. If you go all the way down to the bottom, past the course materials, you get to some more tools, like the communication tab. You have a support center if you ever need any help with anything. You have a survey to take at the end of the course, and you have your grades. However, at Virtual School, they use the same RenWeb software that we do. So you might want to ask your teacher if their grades are accurate in Blackboard, or if you should be checking RenWeb for an accurate glance at your grades, because the two might be different from each other depending on how the teacher grades the course. And then down here, that's stuff that you won't see. So going back up to the middle section, you'll see in your classes you'll have a certain number of units. For example, in my biology class there are 8 units. And so if you go first to the orientation, that's going to walk you through how the course is supposed to work. Okay? But the reason I'm making this video is because the orientation, it is a little bland and it doesn't really show you how it works. It basically just tells you, it just shows you a bunch of pictures, and I think it's going to be more effective if we just walk you through it. Okay, So on the orientation tab, you have a syllabus, which describes the course a little bit more in detail. But let me just warn you, there are no details about how your teacher is going to grade this. This is just a standard Blackboard syllabus. It's not really unique for how your teacher is going to run it. So this is why it's extremely important to check with your teacher to see how the course is going to be graded. But you'll see the syllabus lays out the different units with the topics that will be discussed. For example, Unit 1, we're going to be doing, an introduction to the scientific method. We're going to be talking about using a microscope, things like that. That's what the syllabus is for. Just general course information that's not teacher specific. When we go back to the orientation menu, and by the way, we click back by going up here, and we just click orientation right here. We have next an online learning handbook, just another information page. Really, this, let's see what this is. So the online learning handbook, which you are now viewing, has been designed to take away many of the frustrations these new challenges will present. This handbook will teach you many strategies that will help you on your journey through your school year. Okay, so this is just resources to help you out. You can see over here, they talk about online versus traditional classes, strategies for success, maintaining a schedule. So basically just tips for taking an online class, it looks like. Which you're all very new at, by the way. The online class is very different from the brick and mortar, physical teacher setup, but in many ways it's the same. I'm going to show you how easy an online class can be. In some cases, even easier than being in the class with the teacher. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, here we have some type of reference guide. You may have something similar in your courses. This reference guide is kind of like a mini textbook. So sometimes your lessons will tell you to refer to your reference guide, and the cool thing is this can be downloaded onto a device. Okay, so you don't need to, if I understand this correctly, you don't need to always carry around a laptop with internet access. I believe you can download this and refer to it even when you're offline, but you'll need to verify that for me. Okay, so the reference guide, just like a mini textbook, I'm going to go back to orientation up here. And then we have a page for grading information. Let's take a look at that real fast. And it looks like it just downloaded something to my computer. So I'm going to open that up just to see what it is. Okay, grading information. Okay, so this is just for your teacher's use. They can insert their grading procedures into this page so that you can see them. Okay, so maybe your teacher's done that, maybe not. Either way, take a glance at it, see if something's there. Okay, well, we're going to go back to orientation. Okay, we have a schedule. That's going to be where your teacher's going to make a schedule for what pacing you should be at in the course. And really keep in mind, this is an online course, so you can go at whatever pace you want. If you wanted to complete this course in a few weeks' time, you could totally do that. You'd have to work very hard to do that because there's a lot of material in each lesson. But the beauty of this is that you can go as fast or as slow as you want. I would encourage you to go on the faster side, however, because we don't want you, on the last week having 3 units left to do. So just pay attention to the schedule if and when your teacher puts it there. And if it's not there, it doesn't hurt to make your own schedule. You can always access the lessons and kind of plan out what you need to do every day or every week to meet all of your lessons on time. Okay, so those are the orientation materials, just very general information. Let's go ahead and click on what a unit looks like. So I'm clicking Unit 1. And you can see the setup of the units is kind of like the setup for the orientation. It's a list of materials. Okay, they'll usually have some type of unit introductory page. When we click on that, it's just going to bring up like a couple paragraphs about what this unit is going to cover. So it's really just like an introductory couple paragraphs about this section of the book, or this chapter, I should say. So here, this is all that's on this page, just a paragraph about biology, okay? So nothing really for me to click on here or do. So once I read that, I can just get back to the unit and go on to the next resource, okay? You notice these resources, you just got to do them in order. Once you do this one, you have to move on to the next one, okay? This is a cool tool. It's called Raise Your Hand. It's kind of another communication tool. If you're ever confused about a topic, you can click the Raise Your Hand button. And when you do that, it's going to bring up another kind of chat room or forum where you can post questions or discussion topics for you and your teacher to talk about. And I believe that you can always do this with your classmates. Like if you want to do a study group type thing and you want to be following the class at the same pace, you can start a forum where you and your classmates can work together and discuss things that you go over in class. So that's just the raise your hand part. Really great tool for answering questions. They'll also have a student resources page, which is basically going to give you like a summary of everything that you can access in this unit. So clicking the resource page, it says that these are resources contained in the units. And so you can, for example, click on the materials button right there and see what all you will need for this unit, okay? You can click on the links button, which will display a list of all the internet links that you'll be visiting. You can click the keywords button to bring up a list of the important terms that you're going to be learning. And the advanced preparation is going to display some information for how you can best prepare for lessons and other activities. Okay? So nothing really for you to do here. Just look at this stuff so that you can prepare and gather everything you need before you go and complete a lesson. So going back to Unit 1, we've covered these first three things, the unit introduction page, the raise your hand form, and the student resources. You might have some other resources that aren't available. Always just keep going to the ones that are colored nicely like this. So you can see the first lesson in a unit is called the semester introduction. Okay, now semester introduction, it's not really getting into your course material. It's not really getting into biology yet. This is just more introduction for how the course is supposed to work. So you can see this lesson down here lists the number of steps that it is. So 7 little slides, and so you can see the slides read just like a textbook. So here you're going to read these 2 paragraphs. Once you're done and you're satisfied with your understanding, you're going to click the arrow and you're going to go to the next slide. This is very standard how lessons work. In every lesson there's going to be a pane that lists the goals for the lesson. Okay, so these are your objectives. So keep in mind when you're taking notes from the slides, these are the big picture concepts that the lesson wants you to know. Okay. When we keep going, the next slide is going to take us to materials. Okay, so you can see the materials required for this lesson. Okay, so the first material required is what's known as the student guide. Okay, and we can take a look at that if we go back to the actual unit. And the reference guide was, remember, in the orientation at the beginning of the course. Okay, so those are materials you need to gather to complete this lesson. Here's another materials page that just describes the student guide a little bit more. So nothing really to do there either. So as we keep going, you can see the lesson just step by step, keep doing things in the order that they're presented to you. The semester introduction will give you a brief paragraph on each of the units just to know what's coming up. When we keep going, we're going to see some more content here that we will read. Okay, so nothing really there we need to do except for read that, comprehend it. And then this is my favorite because it gives you kind of an animation for how the course is laid out. So I'm going to click on the semester introduction, and it's going to bring up a cool little animation. It's going to show us exactly what is composed in this course. Okay, So you can see over here on the left, every course is composed of these things. I hope it's not too different from, in your classes, from what's listed here. But you're going to have some online activities, which are like the lessons that we're going through right now, where you click the arrows and proceed through the slides. You're going to have maybe some labs, maybe if it's a science class. You're going to have some resources for the lessons, okay? And that's going to be found on the lesson page. So those are the online activities associated with this class. So when you log on, make sure you view this semester introduction and see exactly what types of online activities are going to be required of you. You're also going to have some offline activities. These are offline, meaning that you don't need an internet connection to access them. Now, you'll need to download them first, but once they're downloaded, you can work offline, you can work on the go, anytime, any place, as long as you have your computer with you. Here they display the student guide again. This is just a resource that's going to contain materials and safety and ways to prepare for class. The student reference book, we already showed you the location of that. Okay, so those comprise the offline activities and the online activities. Here we get down to grades. Okay, so this describes how grades are distributed, and this is probably the most important part of this semester introduction. It's called graded assignments. This is going to tell you what assignments you are going to be scored on. Okay, so this says right here that you're going to be scored based on assignments that are presented online and assignments that are presented offline. Okay, so once you complete something online or offline, you need to submit it to your teacher so that you can get grades for it. There are also quizzes and tests throughout this course, which are also graded assignments. Here they have a little more about, because this is an honors course that we're displaying here, here they talk about some additional honors assignments like projects that students have to complete. So this is a really great page right here. It just walks you through the places where you will get resources that you'll be graded from. Okay, so that's the unit introduction, or the semester introduction, excuse me. So I think that is the first lesson of the course, and then when you scroll down to lesson 2, you're ready to actually launch into biology, okay? So just to review, you've got these lessons that you need to go through just like a PowerPoint. They read like a textbook. They've got really cool content embedded in them. You're going to see offline assignments pop up in lessons that you can download and do when you're not connected to the internet. You're going to need to take quizzes and tests, which is, as you scroll down, you're going to see some quizzes that start appearing. So here's the first quiz in this class, and they appear, every 2 or 3 lessons or so. Okay. So that is really how the course is supposed to run. The only difference between this and a physical teacher is that the slides, your textbook, they're the ones that are teaching you, and the facilitators at St. Andrews and your online teacher, they play the role of the physical teacher. They're here to help you if you have questions, okay? So really, this should run pretty much similar to how a regular school day would run, okay? Keep in mind, each lesson takes about an hour to complete if you do all the reading and activities associated with it. You can see this unit has 11 lessons in it. So, plan accordingly. This class could take you, a good 40 or 50 hours to complete from start to finish. So budget your time wisely. All right, I think that does it for this introduction to the virtual courses. Make sure that you pace yourself and that you push yourself to complete this online. And don't forget, your facilitators here at the school are here to help you. If you have any further questions, feel free to come to room 313 and talk to me about how to best organize your time and get through these lessons. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and good luck.